Joined by the man himself, Mr. Green, Dr. Isaac Kalua Green, who is the founder and chair of the Green Africa Foundation. Today was Plant Your Age Initiative Day. How many trees, I wonder, did you plant today?
We planted quite a number today, and thank you for having me. I evaded the word founder because I realized that the mission that I have in life, I cannot have founded it. It's God. So I remain the chief steward and leave the founding to God Almighty because of what He has enabled us to do. Today we did the actual trees planted, a tree for every county, an additional number of trees that were planted, about 112 trees, calculating that by the personal people committed that I am going to plant trees during my birthday, and my birthday will be my Plant Your Age Day, assuming that the report that they did enough trees equivalent to their age and people around them, giving them 6 people, 30,000 trees committed and people looking forward to plant, because it is a matter of conceptualizing why we are doing this and the personal commitment. That's the difference between every planting event versus the Plant Your Age campaign.
So if you're over the age of 30, you would beat the target that has been set by the government, which is 30 trees per person per year. That sounds like such an astounding figure, 15 billion trees by 2032.
There has never been a better campaign, more fruitful, full of action and livelihoods change than the 15 billion campaign tree. Why I say this is because the value of tree is unmatched. We are talking of a country, of a world that today we are losing trees worth the size of a football pitch every 2 seconds. We are talking of food being lost. We are talking of air and sicknesses increasing. We are talking of a situation where livelihoods are being lost. We are talking of a devastating situation above all. But beyond the 15 billion trees, the campaign that we are running has got a vision, and today we launched a strategic plan, which I would like you to give it to the boss of this institution, because he has been very keen. Here we are talking of within 5 years, and also you give it to Coach himself so that he can have a copy, because this is a mission. A mission that we are definitely looking forward, and a strategy that can help this country to grow. Let me give you 10 years where I see this mission as. In 10 years, 20% of global population planting trees equivalent to their age. We are talking of about 8.4 billion people. 20% of them, we are talking of about 39.5 billion trees, 49.5 billion trees planted globally. We're thinking globally. We're coming back to start working from a local perspective with a clear plan. Come to Africa. Africa has got a global population of about 1.4 something billion people. 20% of those planting trees equivalent to their age, we are talking of 7.1 billion trees planted. We're coming back to Kenya. Our 56.5 million Kenyans, 20% of them, 11 million, planting trees equivalent to their age with a median age of 20%. We are now talking clearly of having planted 220 million trees, clearly enumerated, an approach that is so personalized. You don't have to give these people the money. They are driven personally. And you can imagine that personal commitment, the commitment of the global, and it's all there. Easy. Everyone making their birthday a Plant Your Age Day, clearly enumerated. We must take this business as a proper business where people understand why they are doing this. One tree at a time. You must not plant all the trees in a single day. You can be able to split them over the year
But let's talk practicality.
Yes. That's why I'm here, and
So
that's
far
what
the
I face
approach-
every day.
So far, this is how it has been approached, right? State departments have been given targets that those who work in those state departments must plant the 30 each person per year. Then we've had public holidays to plant trees, but who do we see participating in the planting of those trees? It's students who have perhaps been bussed and government officials who are overseeing that exercise. How practical is that an approach to plant 15 billion trees?
I realize you're talking about the 15 billion trees.
Yes.
So I'm not here about the 15 billion trees.
I know,
I'm
but
here about
your advice is plant your age.
So this is now what I would, if I am seated there today, and seated means I would want to see the Honorable Duale succeed. Okay? And the way the 15 billion trees can succeed is by aligning these things in a practical way like we have done it, simplifying, making it practical. One, they have planned 50 billion Kenya shillings to be given to the institution called the ministry on an annual basis so that they can achieve the incremental period plus to the amount of trees that they are targeting. Great idea. How much are they receiving as per the budget? Last time I checked, I think it was 10 billion out of the 50 billion. Right now, I checked the other day, it was about 500 million, not 50 billion. So it means there is a challenge. And government cannot be seen to be leading this kind of a process. It must be people-driven, where people are earning the benefits. And I like the representation that was there today. A brilliant lady, brilliant mind called Susan Boyd was part of today's system. And we had a discussion. And she says that we want to get this thing driven by the community. Now, you cannot budget from the capital of what you are getting from the taxes, but you can be able to bring in the corporates so that they can get a government rebate towards achieving a specific goal that will lead the entire populace to be driven by this process, understanding where they are going. But these are discussions that we have had. Duale is a very good friend of mine. I look forward to sharing for free the information that I believe that we have tried. At least we have at least 912 million trees starting from the time that Green Africa Foundation that has been doing this. It talks about 200 million in a single period that we were doing Jatropha Kaka seeds for the biodiesel production, leading to a global award. Trees that are known where they are, amounting to every person who wants to participate in this. There is so much suspicion sometimes. Do I put my number in Panda Miti app so that somebody else is going to gain some credit, carbon credits out of this? These are things that communication need to help out. And this kind of initiative, which must be many, is not the only one that can be made to add livelihoods for people to understand. We have designed, including the voluntary carbon credit, how you can accept and access that.
Okay.
But more
So for those who
importantly,
don't have
the
this-
drive. It's online.
It's online.
Plantyourage.africa. You'll be able to see the strategy document simplified, the highlights that would make every corporate, every institution, every individual to drive in a direction that they know where we are going.
So if I wake up tomorrow, 1 year older, and I decide, okay, this year is the year I plant my age. Don't ask me how many
Yes.
those are.
Yes.
Where do I start? First, where do I get the seedling? Where do I go plant it? Land is a big issue in this country.
It's a big issue, and that's an issue that I have discussed with the government today, and because many people want to know where am I going to plant my tree. There are land issues. This is where now there is an incorporated or particular way of working with everybody else. Now, if you have a land issue at your home, there may be a situation of lands ministry that needs to fast track, because I'm not going to plant trees in a land that has not been divided to me or that has not been allocated to me. There could be a situation of a demise of a family member that needs to be corrected. Title deeds is an issue. Institutions of learning are excellent, but you plant trees. By the way, the trees that we've been planting since independence, about 90% are lost because they are browsed by animals. There is no species selection per specific area. Sometimes, and this is what I expect the minister and we will support, so that we can be truthful to ourselves first. Some of the figures that we are sharing as the land mass that is under tree cover, forest cover, it's not true. It's not true. And everybody knows it's not true. We are doing it a political process to quickly show that the ministry is working efficiently. We want to raise the forest cover from 20% to 15% in this county to make this. Yet we know that DRSS have a problem with modern equipment. We must face that situation. What is the ground truthing process to understand this? These are the things that I believe the minister will deal with so that he starts on a clean slate. We cannot imagine bringing down institutions like Kenya Water Towers and say that it does not exist and it is not useful because that there is a process that is needed to excise land according to what we are hearing, and people are blaming the president, yet we know the president is an environmentalist in one way or another. There is no professional person who would burn a house that they have built today and pretend to be doing what it is. There are personal things that we must deal with. And this is what I believe the minister will be able to do. Plant Your Age takes everything back to me. How many trees am I going to plant? Why am I planting this? I have demonstrated, I started planting trees since I was very young. At 14 years old, I planted 14 trees. It got next to my parents' trees, my mother's trees. Soon after, the parents were all planting trees together with me. When Wangari Maathai passed on, I said, please plant trees for 71 trees for Wangari Maathai. Kenyans planted 15.7 million trees. Immediately after that, hey, we have planted Wangari Maathai trees. What next? Plant Your Age came up. There was now a tree for Nelson Mandela. President Kibaki planted 80 trees in Kitui. President Ruto, launching the 15 billion trees, planted 56 trees. How easier can it be than just doing it in a personal approach? I want to make money, I want to look cool, I'm going to plant trees equivalent to my age, I'm going to make some money, I'm going to do some fruit trees and all that.
But for the communities where people don't even have money for
that
food
is
per
the
day,
approach.
are they going to buy a tree seedling?
No. This is the other thing. Thank you for raising that, my sister. Because people never give value to anything that has been given to them for free. You give me a tree seedling for free, I will go and plant because I never bought it. If it doesn't die, you don't even know how to plant a tree, how to grow a tree. Is it not in this country that we see tree planting activities? People are approaching with salt in the pocket because they have to put salt so that that tree can die because they have no relationship. The relationship comes in when we are planting the tree and when we are replacing the dead tree. This has been reported.
Okay.
And there is no truthful approach to all these processes. That is the personalized approach that if it can be given a push, it's going to change this country and take this country to the next level because we are a great nation, something that can be adopted across the world.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Isaac Kalua Green, Chief Steward.
Yes. Not
Green
founder.
Africa Foundation. Today was Plant Your Age Day. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. We'll just press pause on the conversation and pick it up.
Thank you.
Time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Now, Kenya